Bhutan is not just a country. It is a heartbeat preserved between mountains, a place where silence speaks and wind carries ancient prayers. Hidden between the folds of the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan exists like a secret, untouched, unhurried, and unbelievably serene. While the world rushes forward with noise and neon, Bhutan moves like a whisper, like a candle flame that has survived the storm. Here, progress is not measured in skyscrapers or shopping malls, but in smiles, in peace, in the ability to breathe without feeling chased by time. This is the kingdom of the thunder dragon, Druk Yul, a land where happiness is protected, not hunted. Before the journey even begins, Bhutan starts living in the imagination. People hear stories of a kingdom where mountaintops touch the sky like bridges to heaven, where monks spend decades in meditation, where monasteries hang from cliffs like lanterns suspended between earth and sky. The plane's descent into Paro airport feels like entering another realm entirely. The mountains rise like guardians, standing with dignity. Snow rests like silver on their crowns. The wings tilt, the engines hum, the valley appears like a painting, and somehow, the fear, the noise, the weight carried from the outside world begins to fall away. Stepping out of the airport is stepping into clarity. The air is pine-scented and clean, like it has been washed before reaching your lungs. There are no billboards screaming advertisements, no horns blaring through the streets, no chaos pushing you forward. Just quiet. A quiet that fills instead of empties. People are walking, but nobody is rushing. Time exists, but it does not chase. Paro opens slowly, the way a sacred book opens, gentle, intentional, full of meaning. The houses appear like pieces of history painted with wooden frames and carved windows. Mythology lives in the patterns, stories carved into doors, dragons etched into beams, prayers written into roofs. In Paro, even silence feels like conversation. A shopkeeper smiles without trying to sell you anything. A child waves without expectation. A monk nods without words, and somehow it feels like a blessing. The river moves like silver ribbon through the valley, reflecting prayer flags that flutter in 5 sacred colors. Blue for sky, white for air, red for fire, green for water, yellow for earth. Every gust of wind carries blessings with it. Every breeze is a message. And in that moment, you understand. This land is not simply seen with eyes, it is received by the soul. The paths lead upward into pine forests. Horses climb slowly, bells chiming like gentle whispers. And then, Tiger's Nest appears. Paro Taktsang, a monastery built like a miracle on the side of a cliff. It should not be possible, but it exists anyway, like faith itself. The trail climbs. Footsteps slow. Breath becomes prayer. At the viewpoint, the monastery looks suspended not by stone but by belief. Inside, incense breathes centuries into the air. Candles flicker like constellations. Monks chant, their voices echoing like ancient rivers flowing through the earth. Here, people do not whisper because they must, they whisper because the moment demands reverence. This is not tourism. It is pilgrimage. Leaving Paro feels like leaving a dream, yet the dream continues as the road winds toward Thimphu. It is the capital city, but city is not the right word, it is a village wearing the clothes of a capital. There are cars, but no traffic lights. Instead, a traffic officer stands in the center of a roundabout, directing vehicles with gestures so graceful that it feels like choreography. There is modernity, but never disconnection. Cafes serve espresso next to butter tea, laptops sit beside prayer beads, and tradition walks beside technology instead of behind it. Thimphu markets wake with the scent of spices, incense, freshly baked bread, and vegetables carried from mountain farms. Stalls stand like colorful threads in a tapestry of daily life. The elderly spin prayer wheels as they walk, murmuring mantras that rise like smoke from memory. Children laugh as they cross bridges over clear rivers. Families drink suja, salty butter tea, on balconies facing the mountains, steam rising like prayers into the cold morning. Nothing feels hurried. Life unfolds like a ritual. The Tashicho Dzong stands like a chapter of time written in white walls and golden roofs. It is a living fortress, where government and spirituality breathe under one sky. Officials work in one hall. Monks chant in another. There are no arguments between them, no battle for dominance. In Bhutan, Governance and faith coexist like two sides of the same heartbeat. As the sun sets, the dzong glows gently, as if memory itself has lit the walls from within. When the journey leaves Thimphu, it rises again, upward, always upward, toward Dokhula Pass. Clouds gather like silk and wrap around mountains. The 108 stupas rise from the mist like guardians, like prayers sculpted into stone. Flags flutter, mist swirls, the Himalayas appear in the distance like a kingdom carved from ice. People stand here and cry without knowing why, because some beauty is too large to stay inside the body. It demands release. One breath at Dokhula Pass feels like listening to the universe. Downward, the road leads to Punakha, where rivers meet like stories crossing. Pho Chu and Mo Chu, the male and female rivers, merge like yin and yang, strength and grace. And at their confluence stands Punakha Dzong, a palace of devotion. Red bands, white walls, golden roofs, and a wooden bridge carved with dragons. The air smells of sandalwood, saffron, and water that has spent centuries flowing through prayer. Inside, monks walk in maroon robes, bells chime softly, murals tell stories of gods and demons, of victories and warnings. Spirituality here is not displayed, it is lived. Beyond Punakha, the world widens into the Phobjika Valley, a meadow shaped like poetry. The black-necked cranes arrive in winter, circling the valley like celestial dancers. Their arrival is not biology, it is prophecy. Locals bow when the birds land. The birds circle once, twice, 3 times, as if bowing back. The valley holds its breath in reverence. If nature is a language, Bhutan is fluent. Houses here stand far apart, respecting the land instead of conquering it. Smoke curls from chimneys. Yak bells echo like memory. Children run barefoot through fields without fear. Night falls quietly, and stars reveal themselves like secrets. People sit by firelight and speak softly. They speak about crops, weather, ancestors, spirits, dreams. They do not speak of winning or losing, buying or owning. They speak of living, and of living well. Life in Bhutan moves slow on purpose. Because speed is not achievement. Because rushing is refusing to notice blessings placed gently in the road. Farmers till land to nourish, not to climb. Weavers create textiles to preserve lineage, not to mass produce. Artisan hands move slowly not because they lack skill, but because they respect time, and time respects them back. Mountains rise like temples. Lakes mirror the sky like memory. Forests guard stories older than nations. Some mountains must not be climbed, not due to danger, but due to sanctity. Some lakes must not be swum, not due to depth, but due to the presence of deities. To outsiders, these beliefs appear as superstition. But Bhutan is not surviving superstition, it is honoring relationship. Nature is not resource. It is relative. It is partner. It is teacher. As modernity reaches Bhutan, the kingdom chooses not to refuse the world, only to refuse losing itself to the world. There is internet, but it does not replace conversation. There are televisions, but they do not replace stories. There are cars, but they do not replace walking. There is ambition, but not at the cost of soul. People say Bhutan is behind the world. Bhutan answers gently, the world is ahead of itself. Evening in Bhutan feels like a page turning. Lanterns glow. The streets dim, not because there is nothing to do, but because there is nothing to escape. Silence returns like an old friend. Families gather indoors. They share meals, emarthacha, chilies in cheese, fire and softness together. They eat slowly. They speak honestly. They exist comfortably. Happiness is not performance here. It is presence. It is the ability to sit with yourself and not feel alone. Night arrives like a hymn. Prayer flags dance in the wind. Rivers hold the reflection of the moon. Temples glow like embers. Monks chant behind closed doors, their voices carrying into the valley like lullabies. And the land sleeps, but it dreams loudly. It dreams of ancestors. It dreams of mountains. It dreams of peace. And so, Bhutan remains. Mountains and monasteries. Rivers and rituals. Fire and silence. Mist and memory. A place where the spirit breathes. A place where the world pauses. A place where the soul returns home. Bhutan, not a country in the world. A country above it. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.